doing a-lot. Wembanyama at 16 of their 24. Wemby's back. High archer is good. Took it and made it. Wow.
You make me feel
18-point hole they have dug out of. Oh, 2 feet for the dunk. 7 straight for the Spurs. 1 win from the Western Conference Finals.
Smersey Buku, my friend.
Wemby was back, and it was a beatdown, just not in the literal sense like it was in Game 4. Game 6 goes down in Minnie on Friday, and the reason we even have a Game 6, Anthony Edwards continues to hoop his tail end off. Ants leading the team in scoring this series, but Chris Finch knows that that's just how it's got to be if they want to win this series.
You know, we need those games from him, that we know he can have, and so I think Ant's got a lot left in the tank. We talked about the 2-day break. We know he's going to be super aggressive coming out here. We know they're going to try to throw multiple bodies and multiple looks at him. Things that, we're ready for, he's ready for. And we just got to get him a lot more shots.
Conventional wisdom would tell you if your superstar scores more, you should win more. Has not been the case for Minnesota, though. Wolves actually own a losing record when Ant goes for 20 or more this postseason compared to a 3-1 record when he's held under 20. And even with that, Ant-Man ain't shown a lick of back down in this series. Speaking of that sort of mentality, Kendrick Perkins, kind enough to kick it with us here on SportsCenter. Perk, let's get into these Game 6s that we have on Friday. Pistons and T-Wolves fighting for their lives, backs against the wall. Who's better equipped to scrap their way out and force a Game 7?
Well, I got to listen, that Cavs series is over. I'm leaning more towards Minnesota. Anthony Edwards is going to get his lick back at home. You know one thing about Anthony Edwards, he has a hatred for losing. I expect the others to play better, but I'm looking at Julius Randle. He has been basically a no-show in this series, and it's time for him to level up. It's time for him to be that Robin to Anthony Edwards. All this 12, 13, 17 points, turning over the ball, it got to stop. Julius Randle is too talented, he's too versatile on both ends of the floor not to be having a real powerful impact. I expect Julius Randle to be the X factor at the crib in Minnesota, get Game 6, heading back to San Antonio for Game 7.
Yeah, physicality is part of that brother's brand. So, yeah, that's a fair expectation. But I want to go back to something that you originally said, bro. You said that the Pistons series is over. What's the problem with Detroit then? We're talking about a #1 seed over the course of the regular season.
Yeah, but they're young, and we're watching Cade Cunningham right now, and look, he's giving you all that he possibly can, but he's running out of gas in these 4 quarters, and Cleveland is doing an excellent job of trapping him and mixing it up, and they're saying, hey, you know what, someone else has to beat us. And right now, when you look at who's been their Robin all season long, it's been Jalen Duren. He was benched in the 4th quarter last game because he's going through these growing pains. He's mentally not there. And from my experience of playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers, especially in the postseason, that arena is going to be rocking. And I just don't see the Detroit Pistons walking into that environment with a Cleveland Cavaliers team who's playing with a lot of confidence. And we're looking at that dynamic backcourt of Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, who has found their groove offensively, getting the win. And Cleveland is going to close that one out.
Yeah, finding the groove offensively feels like something the Pistons are unable to do right now outside of Cade Cunningham. Let's switch over to the NFL, though, Perk. I know the regular season schedules just dropped today, and I know that you rock with the Ravens pretty heavily. So what they going to do? They going to make something shake this year? Are we going to make something happen? Are we going to see Lamar in the Super Bowl, Perk?
Well, look, I know people saying, well, Perk, how you rock with the Ravens? You know what I'm saying? You from Texas.
We're going to play a little. Wow, that's the first time I've seen this. It's me as the teacher. We're going to play a little true or false. That's I'll give the Photoshop job a
Why is your head so big?
B-. I've got a long neck, too, but it's a meaty neck. It's a thick, meaty, muscular neck.
Ew.
Face, not so much, as you can tell. Chris Hassel here with Ashley Moss. And Noah Bono joining us as well. True or false, all right? We've got 3 NBA MVP finalists. It's coming down to SGA, Jokic, and Wemby. Now, the question is not for the regular season. It's for the playoffs. And Ashley, I'll let you start us off here. True or false, Wemby has been the best player and still is the best player in these playoffs?
Ooh, I'm going to go false. And I'm going to say false because Jalen Brunson is around. No, I'm going to say false because I think that you got to give credit to the teams or to the players on the teams who are not currently fighting for a spot to advance. And I'm going to have to give that to either SGA. I would probably also, no jokes aside, give it to my New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson's been phenomenal in these playoffs. Also got to give, although he's hurt right now, OG Anunoby has been absolutely incredible for the New York Knicks.
You would put him ahead of Wemby?
I wouldn't put him ahead of Wemby, but if we're talking about in this postseason, you got to also remember there have been some games where Wemby didn't have good games. There were games where Wemby wasn't available on the floor.
Yeah.
There were games where the Spurs won in spite of Wemby. So for me to say he's the overall best player in the postseason, including all the other teams and all the other players, don't know if I can say that, but I'll definitely say he's probably, if not the best player in the NBA. We can say that.
Spurs are 6-1 when Wemby plays 15 or more minutes in a game this postseason. Noah, what do you think?
Well, I mean, we're all just dying to elevate Wemby to the status of, like, he's the guy, he's the best, like, nobody's taking his spot. And he's just not there yet, and that's okay. Like, this is his first ever postseason run. Jalen Brunson was going to be my choice. I had a feeling Ashley was maybe going to shade a little New York Knicks bias, no problem. So I went for Cade Cunningham. He's 30 points a game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. He's got 5 games with 30-plus points this postseason. And if you've watched any Pistons game, well, first of all, Donovan Mitchell's the only other player that has that many 30-point games as well in the playoffs. But if you've watched any Piston game this postseason, you can just see how much is on Cade Cunningham's shoulder. He's like a single parent raising 5 kids. Yeah, he averages 5 turnovers a game, and you're going to be late to pick up one kid from school, then the other one, and things happen. But he has no help. Like, there's not a ton of help going on there in Detroit, and I think that big game after big game, like Game 5 back against the wall, in Detroit versus Orlando, he drops 45 and they win the game. Then he comes back and helps them win the series. Last night he has 39 points. So, like, I think what we're seeing from Cade is all NBA, first team all NBA, and MVP caliber type of play. I think the turnovers are maybe making us feel a little bit more. He's not quite there yet. No, he's just doing so much that inevitably he is going to turn the basketball over with his usage rate. But I do agree with Ashley that, like, you know, Jalen Brunson has advanced and he's already into the conference finals, and that probably gives him a little bit of a stronger case. But because Cade is really a one-man band out there, I think it's fair to put him at the top of the postseason in terms of best players thus far.
He is at the top of points per game in the postseason, averaging right at 30 a game. He's third in assists per game as well. He's going to need to win back-to-back games, though, if the Pistons are going to play Ashley's Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. That leads us to our next true or false question. Ashley, if the Knicks don't win it all,